Hey guys, this is Party, and this is game coding, and lots and lots to talk about. I put in a total of 20 hours over the last 2 weeks. 2 weeks? No, over the last week. So it's been a little grueling to get everything done. So there's a lot I had to code. I didn't expect it to take as long. Hence the scroll on down. Here we go. Working on the map, adding description and exits. I was estimating 14. I put in 27. 6 of those were bug hunting, and another 3 was getting identify line descriptions and pulling it into a master file. Huh. Alright, that's quite a few. Actually 8 hours there. So quite a bit of it was that which I had to hack out. That's what was causing the problems. Probably go back and fix it later. But let's get down to the basics. And of course I start hiccuping and burping while I'm talking. Grr doesn't do it when I don't talk. So, map square is the smallest unit of the map. These are basically the rooms. So we've got a room description number, as in what is the description. There is a main list of all the descriptions. There's about, as I reach over and find my little piece of paper here real quick. What is it? I think there's like, yep, there's 8 descriptions. So which number does this one? What is it? And then the exits, of course, are just numbers. 0 being blank, and then it's 1 through 4, and then 5 is the closing character for the array. We got setting and getting room description number, real simple. Setting exits, and getting exits. So we can get all the exits, or just getting one. Room description. This is the main list, so this will become an array. It's a class. Of course, each room will need a name and a description. So this is 240 characters, which is 3 lines at 80 characters each. And this one, I just randomly picked 42. That's lovely. So setting room name is actually receives a string. Get room name returns it, simple enough. And the description's the same way. So setting the name description and getting the name description, real simple. And that will be a single piece in an entire array. So here we go. Max map descriptions. So each one of these, the maps, I was thinking that since the map is 5 by 5, max is 26. I brought it up to 26. So here we go. The map is 26. Max descriptions, I may remove that. It's kind of meh. It was a good idea. So basically, we've got each of the map squares, X, Y. So it's 5 by 5. Roger, 5 by 5. Making 25. So, you can imagine, set max description. I may remove that one. It's like meh. Set room. This takes a string. Get room is the row description out of the main one, and then get room name is from is actually finding out what that number is. Anyways, because you'll need the number from here to know what the map square number is, and then from here you enter it in and pull out the name and the description. And that's kind of what all this stuff is. Set room description, we got the character, and then the number for the row. Let's see, name is the same way. Oh yeah, set name, get name, get name. So this is the actual what is it? Meh. It's been a long day, so I'm kind of mentally wiped out. So get room name. So this is from the main list, and this is getting the number itself, which then gets placed back into the main list. So that's the same way for the description. Map square numbers. There it's actually getting the map square description number and setting it. And of course setting the exits and getting the exits. It just returns a single exit number is the way I've got it set up so far. Woo! And of course I found out I just had to hard code. One thing I learned is if I put in the quotes, I have to match it. So it wants to load this as a string, and I'm doing everything by a character array. So I have to just put this at the front of it, and it's all good. So here we go. Map 2 is the castle. Set the name, set the description. And this is the main list. So 0 is supposed to be void, but it acts so funny that this is just goes in and never comes out. So the very first one is this one. Guards room, throne room, dragon throne, castle hallway, magic shop, weapon shop, healing shop, and stairs. So those are the 8 descriptions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can count! Yay! And this, of course, I hard-coded. I'd rather pull in from a file, but the file's not working. I gave up and moved on. I'll go back to the file later. So this one is setting the map description number and to which room. So we got XY, so we got the map, and then XY, and then the description number, and then followed by setting the exits. North, south, east, west, and what coordinates. So it's 2, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, setting map description. So this is going from left to right like reading. So this is the top row, second row, third row, fourth row, fifth row, and it's all done. So I just hard code it, and this is just for map 2. So I'm going to have to do a lot more of this later on for each of the maps. And again, I'd rather pull in from a file, and then I'd rather make a tool to edit that file so I could just build by running around in the game itself. I think that would be awesome. So, and of course the display. This is rather major because you can't exactly bring this to the screen without displaying it. So I made my little display here. So first off, found out what our X and Y is. It's wherever your player was. And then I set up some extra temps because, keeping it separate is good. Putting in a line across so that the line visually breaks up the screen, saying, hey, we got new material underneath this line. So got the name, got the description, it's all that good, happy, hippie stuff, and then it prints out the name and the description of the room itself. And then finally directions, and this is where the bolt came in. This is just north alone. So we brought it in, says of course if it's 0, there's nothing there, we don't want to show anything. So there is no exit. Exit 1 is successful. You can exit that direction. So what I wanted to do, this is just going out and getting, let's see, what are we on? We're on north. It literally went to the map square 1 unit north, pulled in the name to display the name of the map square to the north. And it does it for each one of them. So it actually has the title of the square that you'll be going into. You'll see it when we move around. It's rather cool in my opinion. Rather complex, but got it done. So a 2 is a locked door. So here we go. North is a locked door. 3 is a blocked, so because we got guards, and they're just going to be blocking the stairs until you get the until you get the key or the pass, the amulet, whatever it happens to be. And then if it's none of those, we got a real problem. So north error, and I spit out the information. And let's see, what is it? Yep. So that's pretty much it for every last one of them. So you got south, pulled in the name of the map square south of the position, to the east of the position, to the west of the position. This is all exits. And voila, current location, your X and Y. So let's move on. The next thing was character strokes. You had to be able to detect if the exit was there or not. So this became a mess. So east, case 0, you can't go that way. Bonk, you can't go that direction. We don't know if it's a wall or what, so I said you can't go that direction as opposed to bonking into a wall. Pause, hit any key to continue. So 1, it is there, but it's an if-else statement, because if it's within the bounds of the map 5x5, then we can actually move within it. If not, it'll make this statement: you almost walked off the edge of the world. This is a bug, which means that someone put an exit allowing you to go outside the map. So this actually blocks you from going beyond the 5 and 5. So how do you go from one map to the next? It's an exit number. You can put it anywhere. And in that exit, it'll be a 3-digit number. First number will be a map, which map it is. The second 2 is the X and the Y on that map. So I haven't coded it that far right now. We're just sticking to the single map, which is map number 2, which is inside the castle. There's still plenty to do before we start expanding into more maps and more worlds and blech, all that good stuff. So case 2, there you go. Keys and unlocking doors are not coded yet. 3, it's blocked. Your path is blocked. Simple enough. And finally, default. Dear God, you can't go east. So, and then it spits out the information to find out what went wrong. And just basically copy, paste, repeat. North, south, and finally west. Where's it? West. And it's so long that I actually have to do notes at the very end saying end of. That way I know what's above it. That's just one of those minor details. So, anyways, here we go. And finally, I've learned that you have to, even though number 13 in raw console number is the enter key, if you hold down Alt, press 1-3, and then release Alt, it will automatically give you an enter. But that doesn't work on all systems. And I found out that if you do a /n, which is, C out, and printf command, is a C statement. This is universal for the enter key. So wherever you put it, as long as you use it as a character, it will say, hey, if you hit enter, then yeah, it doesn't matter what that number actually is, whether it's 13 or whether it moves around on you on different computer systems. That's the solution right there. Took me a while, but meh. And I have added the help menu. List single key stroke characters. I'm sure you recognize it. This is the blue one. So I added a few things. There's C for character sheet, L for looking around, and the question mark itself to bring up the menu. So voila. What else? So that allowed me to clean it up. So instead of having all that text in here, there you go. So you initialize the map, start the intro, do your thing, list the help codes, the text codes, and then into the game, the main game loop. So let's get going. So voila. Nothing really changed here other than my time. I'm up to 45 hours total. Yep, start as Bob. Glorious Bob. Just kidding, you're just Bob. Saving, and voila. You see the list is longer, and there we go. So we now can move around north, south, east, and west. N, S, E, W. And I will change that to be little arrow keys later on, but for now, let's just stick with it. So as you can see, throne room is to the north, and throne room is to the east. You go to the east, we're still in the throne room, but north of the throne room, south is castle hallway, east is throne room, and west is throne room. Let's go north. So here it says north of this current throne room is the dragon throne. And then throne. And then once we're in, of course, throne. Definitely throne. We're at the top of the castle, so there's nothing north. Might put a secret door here eventually, but not today. That may be something I add later on. So heading west, you see that there's south. East is the throne, and then to the west is the guard's room. We move west, guard's room. So voila. What happens when we walk into a wall? Bonk. You can't go that direction. So let's get to something a little more interesting. Going down to the hallway, you see throne room north, south is castle hallway, east is weapon shop, and west is magic. Let's go in the weapon shop, shall we? So here we see something new. The locked door. It displays. It's to the east. To the east you can't exit because it's a locked door. Let's try it anyway. Let's head east. Keys are I can talk. Keys and unlocking doors are not coded yet. Lovely. Isn't that wonderful? So obviously you can't exit. And look, another locked door to the west in the magic shop. Yep, it's his back room where he keeps all his good stuff. So that I will code later. So now let's go south and finally to the west. And you notice west, it is blocked. 2 guards stand here blocking the way to the king's private area. Dink, your path is blocked. So voila. And that, you're looking at 20 hours of work. And here, in the main hallway, it will later mention to the south will be the exit to map number 5. So you'll go out to the piers and the dock and all the little shops. So that is it. So, sorry, killer yawn just hit. Trying not to yawn into the mic here. How rude. And of course, oh, the enter key doesn't work. Oh well, I have to put that back. So that's one of those minor details. So what do I have to do? Anyways, so that is it. So the map name, description, and exits have all been coded now. So that was a mess. And I estimated 14 hours, took 27. Most of it's bug hunting because I was trying to get a little too fancy a little too soon. So I just had to backtrack and just hard code and move forward. So I still want that little feature there, but I will come back to it later. One of my rules of thumb is to not look too far ahead. Guess what I did? I looked too far ahead. So based on my rough estimates, even though some of them are off, all hours totaled together. So these are the hours complete plus the hours estimate. So I'm looking at 207 hours total to get this game working. So let's scroll back up. So now that the map name and description and exits are working, I'm going to throw in some creatures. It's the next step. So I've already designed the creature. I'm going to spend some time, so 2 hours of that is done. Now it's time to code the creature, 4 hours. Saving the creature is going to, save and load is going to take 2 hours. And then I'm going to move on to coding accounts to save and load the character at intro, so that you can actually have some choices like what's your name? Are you male or female? Little minor choices. And then finally update the intro, which will include hey, do you want to start a new account? We detect a character here. Or do you want to load an old account? So I'm estimating again about 14 hours, and that is going to be done over 2 weeks. So by the end of the month, we should have creatures in the game. But anyways, looking forward after that, I decided there's going to be a bit of stuff that needs to be cleaned up. Like adding exits which go to other maps. it's kind of needed if we're going to get out to the battlefield. Display exits correctly with the new map exits. So what's going to happen is it's going to be some number like 5, let's see, it's going to be map 5 XY, it's going to be 3, 1. So it will have to go and find the exits, the name of that room across a different map, and then display it as one of the exits. That way things are seamless. So then, of course, we have to add the next map. So map 5, and then recode intro and player creations. So again, let's see, what was that? Let's see, creatures, counts. So this may or may not be needed, but I'm estimating 11 hours. So I went ahead and looked out, I think 2 months? Yeah, 2 months. So after that, timing and fighting. So hopefully if I can stick to the schedule, everything's going to be going well. And then after mid-July, this is I'm throwing in cleanups, as you know, cleanup every other 2 weeks, because there's little details that need to be cleaned up for it to be nice and polished. You can add in features until it's just a complete mess, but no one likes that. So then after that, I just left it up to chunks, like design monsters and fighting is kind of the same thing. Adding map 6 and 3, that's where those monsters are going to be placed. Then after that, got to design some skills, save load skills, buffering, testing the skill code. So at that point, we've already got the fighting. Then we throw in the skill, and we can improve our fighting skill. Imagine that. So also saving it. So let's see. Estimate another, again, some cleanups and polish. There's going to be something that comes up that's going to be interesting. So again, estimate 6 hours. And these are all just chunks. I can randomly pick one, but they're pretty much in order. And then finally recode intro, player character, because at this point you've got the skills. I don't think it's really going to take that long, but I just threw it in there just in case, because you've got all sorts of skills. And when you start your new character, you're like, what skills do you want to apply to? And then you get to pick what you want. You know, you want to be a fighter, a lover, a dancer, or whatever. No, you don't really get one option of fighter, but what weapons you want to fight with. Anyways, minor details. And then finally designing inventory and items for health potion and money and friggin' item, and then we got a code for it, and then buffering, just an extra time for just testing, and then load and save items and inventory. So that's kind of where I drew the line. I'm like, I'm done. I'm not going to look any further. Yeah, well, that's 100 hours out is the estimate. Then I kept going, like, but what's after that? Well, let's design loot and code for the loot, and then save and load all the loot drops, because we just got inventory. Then, of course, we have inventory. What do you do? Do you hoard it? No, you got to sell it. So here's a load and sell, and that's another 15 hours. Estimate, of course. It may go a lot more. And then design questing. This, I think, is going to be a pain, because I've never actually done this. I just have a good idea. So that one, and then writing the end, 25 hours, and then making it replayable, more enjoyable by replaying. So I'm expecting the actual game to take about, I don't know, an hour, 2 hours to play through. We'll see. But total estimate hours is 207 hours to finish everything. Right now I'm at 45 hours. I got 6 months left. So 150 hours in 6 months. This is all my spare time, and I know I did like 20 hours this last. Sorry, yawn again. Jesus, I couldn't hide it. 20 hours this last week, but I don't think I can keep up that pace. That's a little rough. Otherwise, I could get this done in 10 weeks or less. But that is it. This is Poverty with game coding, and this has been map description and exits. So Next up, we'll be talking about the design of character or creatures to be added into the game. There's a bit of synergy. There's a lot of things that go with it. So it's not just creating creatures by itself. So that's it. I will catch you guys later, and thank you for watching.